It happens. But Sarah Sands, is this now the end of the line for arguments that Scotland can survive on its own? What do you make of this?
Oh, it's an extraordinary turn of events. You know, you have David Cameron attacking Gordon Brown for embracing the free market, and now you have a Scottish Prime Minister deeply distrusted in England, who's being held responsible for the ruin of Scotland, as it turns out. But I don't see how they finance themselves. I see oil prices are coming down, but you know, they've never actually been able to, and they can't just simply say that the oil's ours and just put their arms around it. So I think actually it's a rather happy consequence, as far as I'm concerned, that we have a united kingdom.
Phil?
I broadly agree with that. I think too much of the economics of independence are a bet on the oil price. I very much doubt that had Scotland been independent last week, it wouldn't have been coming south of the border to ask a foreign government in England to guarantee its bank deposits. I'm sure that would have happened. I think it has dealt a blow to the question of independence. Every time the Scottish people have been asked, they've said they don't want independence, and I think this is showing their wisdom.
Right. Alex Salmond, just very briefly, just to add something else into the mix. Sir Kenneth Callum is reconsidering the Barnett formula, something which is, well, many fists are shaken at it from your side of the fence for saying it isn't generous enough. He says it might be too generous. It's not fair to England. So what do you make of his considerations and deliberations?
Well, if your incredibly impartial London commentators had bothered to look at the government expenditure and revenue from this summer, they would have seen that even 2 years ago, in the most recent figures, that Scotland was more than paying its way in the United Kingdom. So I'll be happy to scrap the Barnett formula if we move to a position where Scotland can raise its own revenue and govern its own spending, and then England and the rest of the UK can do exactly the same thing. Now, what on earth could be fairer than that? Or behind the prejudice that your commentators down in London show is there perhaps a nagging doubt at the back of their minds that the £250,000 million received by the Treasury from Scottish oil revenues over the last quarter of a century is probably what kept successive chancellors in the style to which they became accustomed. And it might be that a country which governs its own resources would do rather better than many of your London commentators think. I think that's what the Scottish people will decide.
Alex Salmond, thank you very much. Now